This is how I got the strongest sword in Terraria in only 27 minutes. I already pre-made 5 different worlds, each one having its unique purpose. So I'm gonna start the run by going to the first and second worlds by grabbing some chests, and then going to the third world, which will be my main one, and exploding myself to get a gravestone. Then I head into the jungle so I can grab some resources, especially hives and a life crystal. Then I dupe this tombstone, and then I make a graveyard biome, build a house for the guide, I research the beehives, and then I spawn wall of flesh. And now you see why I'll be using bees, because they are strong! Then I head into the corruption, hammer some demon altars, and then I go back so I can switch from daytime to nighttime to spawn the mech bosses. Here I turn into daytime so one of the eyes can go off screen and despawn. Now here it occurs a common glitch when using bees, which makes the UI just disappear. To solve that I just kill the bees and then I just kill the rest of the mech bosses. I unpause the day-night cycle and then I go to the jungle trying to find a plantera bulb. But before that I grab some life crystals and some spores, while also looking for hard mode ores so I can mine them later. Here I'm quite happy because I find the plantera bulb on the optimal spot, so I kill her. I grab this very conveniently placed chest with a golem item spawner thing, and then I use teleportation potions to see if I can get to the jungle. I have no luck on that, so I go into a world that I can just get a magic punch so I can teleport right to the dungeon. When there, I just kill skeletron and then I kill the bees that I used to kill skeletons, so I can do something that is called pillar skip, which I just spawn the cultist, place 8 beehives on the bottom square, and then I place as many beehives on the top so that I can fill the NPC slots, and then when the pillars try to spawn, they just can't, and then it just skips to Moonlord. And now I go into the dungeon, put my spawn rate up, and then I get into this room which has a Muramasa. I build this wooden box so I can place bees on it, and the bees have this very special property that they can penetrate through shields like the Moonlord's core. So I reuse the bees that I used to kill Moonlord to kill dungeon mobs so I could get ectoplasm, and then I grab Moonlord's treasure bag and then I start a server to hard dupe them. That means that I just put my items in a chest and then I forcefully crash the game so that the game doesn't save my inventory. So this means that I still have my items in my inventory, but then the items will also be inside the chest. If you didn't understand that, then just look up a tutorial on how to do it, they probably explain better than me. Okay, and then I do this one more time, and then I have enough items. I research the treasure bags, and then I realized that I didn't grab 2 life crystals. So I go back into the jungle, and then after getting the life crystals, I go back, build some houses. I don't know why I built 4 houses here, I only needed 3. And then I place some items in the chest, and I go to my character named 1, so I can defeat the Martian. And now you ask me, why did you switch character? Wouldn't it be easier to just do it on the same character? And the answer is, it would be easier, but this is better because I need 200 health for the Martians to spawn. And do you know what other event needs 200 health to be spawned? That's right, the goblins. And if they appear, they would kill my run. So I just switch characters, pause the time, and then afterwards I grab this Star Fury, then I go get the Influx Waver, which I get pretty quickly, and then I switch back. Now after that I go grab some items in the jungle. I do not have the patience to explain them, so I'm just gonna put all the items that I need on the screen and why. I went really slowly on this part of getting the items, but it was good enough, so I'll take it. And then I hard dupe more items. Since I already done that before, I'm just gonna skip through this part. And then I grab some pumpkin seed, then I go into the corruption to get some demonite from the Eater of Worlds, so I can get the Light's Bane, which I can make a Knight's Edge, so I can make the Enchanted Knight's Edge, and then I can also make the True Excalibur. And then I go back, and then I realized that I left my anvil and forge back in the corruption, and then I also realized there is a solar eclipse happening. So I pause the time, grab my stuff, and then I up the spawn rate, and immediately a Morphroom spawn, which gives me an Eye of Cthulhu Broken Hero Sword, which I needed to craft the Terrablade. After that we are in the end game. I craft my pumpkin medallion, and then I go into another world which has an enchanted sword and some copper, because for some reason the journey mode character doesn't spawn with a copper short sword, so I need to grab a copper for myself. And now I get confused because I don't see my anvil anywhere, which kinda worries me because I might think I threw the run, but later I find out that I'm just stupid. And then I summon the pumpkin moon, and then at this point the world record is guaranteed, because it usually takes 4.5 minutes to get the horseman's blade, but then to get the horseman's blade, which means that I would get a 29 minutes worth, and the previous world record was 31 minutes. But now, before I finish this run, did you notice anything weird about the run? Maybe it was on journey mode, but that isn't a problem since journey mode is a real speedrunning category, so don't go commenting that I cheat. But there is something else. Can you try to guess what was wrong with it? The run had no in-game audio, because when I started my stream, I accidentally turned off the desktop audio. And to make things even worse, look at this clip. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. But oh my god! There's time! There's time! That's right, I get the horseman's blade in my second pumpkin. That is a 1.5% chance or something like that, I don't really know. But that's a really low chance and it clutches me a 27-minute speedrun. But that unfortunately got rejected because there was no in-game audio. But I wasn't gonna give up there, I had to get this world record. So I started grinding for runs again, and then I eventually got a 29-minute speedrun, which I wasn't really happy with it, so I went for more speedrun. And then I got a 26-minute and 50-second run, which was absolutely insane. And then when I looked at OBS, I saw that the recording had crashed and my run wasn't available, so I kept on grinding, and this is my last speedrun. It was way smoother. I managed to beat Moonlord at the 7 minutes and 36 second mark, which is a 3-minute improvement, and it's 15 seconds lower than my Moonlord seeded PB. But the rest of the run is kinda bad, so I lose a lot of time. I could have gotten 25-30. I personally think from the math I did, it's definitely possible to get a sub 20 speedrun with this route, but I'm not crazy enough to go for that. I already have a world record, so if you want to go for that, try it. I promise you it's not fun at all and you are gonna regret doing that. But if you enjoyed this video, click in this other video that I have because you might like it. Also subscribe. I stream every week on Monday and Thursday at 4 PM GMT -3 time. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching and goodbye.